Now, a new report has suggested that bonuses should be given to teachers to help deal with a growing recruitment and retention crisis. Schools are struggling to recruit in all areas, but particularly in STEM subjects.
Yes.
Maths and physics have been highlighted. Only a minority of teachers possess a relevant degree.
The UK has an enormous teacher crisis. By the end of 2023, it's projected that the UK would have 80,000 fewer teachers than it actually needs. So in this video, we're going to explore how the UK got to this position where they're facing a teacher crisis. And if you're from countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and South Africa, we'll be talking about how this presents potentially a life-changing opportunity for you to move to and work in the UK as a teacher. But before we get into that, of course, like I said, we'll talk about how the UK got here in the first place. Between 2017 and 2023, the UK went through a myriad of challenges, talking about Brexit, the COVID-19 lockdowns, and of course the Russia-Ukraine war-induced inflation. Now, both of those challenges, talking about the Russia-Ukraine war-induced inflation and COVID-19, were faced by countries all across the world. Peculiar to the UK is the Brexit situation. Now, non-British teachers account for about 3.9% of the teaching population, of the white teaching population in the UK, which means that the UK sources a decent number of teaching staff from other countries in Europe. With the Brexit situation, the UK no longer has easy access to that cheap labour, and of course the UK also faces several other trade restrictions between the UK and the rest of Europe. Now, with COVID-19 happening shortly after Brexit, it changed the way teachers worked. Teachers could no longer just go to class, work with the students using the board and have physical interactions. They now had to work with them remotely, and that was really tough. It's estimated that teachers actually have the highest number of unpaid hours of any profession. Think about the time that goes in for teachers to create lesson plans, read essays, mark assignments, and do all those things that fall outside of their hours within the classroom. Now, add on to that, teachers had to learn new ways of teaching and regularly call students to find out how they were faring, what's happening in their lives, and just ensure that they were in the right state of mind to actually participate in these online classes. It was a huge workload for teachers and a recipe for burnout. And then came inflation. Inflation in UK is so bad that it's currently at about a 41-year high with 11.1% year-on-year inflation on food and energy. And what this means is that people in the UK are experiencing consecutive months of real income decline. In fact, as at 2022 November, people in the UK were earning less than they were in 2010 in terms of real income and wages, meaning even if they're earning the same salary or higher, their money could buy fewer things than it could back in 2010. Now, for teachers or for the teaching industry, think about a shortage due to Brexit, increased workload due to COVID-19 lockdowns, and now a reduction in their real wages due to inflation. It was just too much. But even before then, if you look at the graph on screen, you will notice that the ratio of pupils to teachers has been increasing steadily since 2010, 2011, all the way to 2018, 2019. And all of this, of course, was even before Brexit or the war or COVID-19. Even before then, the number of students coming into classroom has outpaced the number of teachers coming into the teaching industry. Today, more than 50% of teachers have indicated that they want to resign from teaching profession by 2024. And between 2021 and 2022, the teaching profession lost about 20% of its strength. All of this is really alarming, and it gets even worse when you consider the fact that the UK government has missed its own recruitment target 9 times out of 10 consecutively in the past 10 years. And in subjects like physics, the shortfall is as much as 80% below their target recruitment. In addition to this shortfall, which is estimated to grow from 50,000 to about 80,000 fewer teachers than they need by the end of 2023, the UK actually needs about 3,600 new teachers to come to the workforce every year because the number of pupils has increased by 27% faster than the number of teachers has. So let's put this all together. We have The UK, which is struggling with inflation, can't afford to increase salaries just to retain the teachers it currently has, yet doesn't have enough teachers or as many teachers as it needs, so the ones that are there are struggling under the weight of the workload. At the same time, the UK no longer has access to cheap labor from the rest of Europe. So what does UK do? UK is currently increasing the number of countries that can obtain visas to work and teach in the UK. Previously, this was mostly restricted to countries like Canada, the US, but now the UK is making this visa available to Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Ukraine, Jamaica, Hong Kong, India, Singapore, and Zimbabwe. Now, in particular, if you're from Ghana or Nigeria, you know that a lot of people move from these countries to the UK. For those two countries in particular, about 150,000 people have moved from Ghana and Nigeria between 2019 to about 2021, 2022. And most of these people, about 70% of them really, come on student visas, which means they are going to be taking one undergraduate or postgraduate program in the UK, spending tens of thousands of pounds in tuition and on a visa that doesn't allow them to work and make significant amounts of money. Well, all that can now change. You can come to the UK, work as a teacher, start earning about 27,000 to 33,000 pounds per year, which is about 25 million to about 30 million in Naira per year as soon as you get to the UK. And the Department for Education has actually announced that from 2023, they will be increasing the salaries of teachers so that teacher salaries start from 30,000 pounds. If this visa is consistent with visas offered to other countries, the teacher visas offered to other countries right now, it would also mean that in about 5 years thereabouts, as a teacher in the UK, you should be able to obtain permanent residence, which would allow you to work here in the UK indefinitely. It's a fantastic opportunity. It's very reminiscent of the opportunity that was open to nurses some years ago that made it possible for nurses to move from Nigeria, come practice in the UK, and probably hundreds of thousands of lives have been changed by that opportunity for so many people have gone abroad to the UK to work as nurses and also move their families. Well, now teachers have that same opportunity. So what do you need to do? How do you work towards obtaining that visa? Especially if you're a teacher or you're a teaching enthusiast and you're like, oh wow, this is such a fantastic opportunity. What do I need to do ahead of time to take advantage of it? The visa changes are happening in February this year, so just in a few days, this would be in operation. What you need to do is keep close watch on this channel. In our next video, we're going to be talking about what you need to do to qualify for this visa, what are the documents you probably need to prepare, what approvals do you need to have, what do you need to put together between now and say the end of the year if you're looking to move soon, for you to obtain the teacher visa that the UK is now making available. If you're a follower of this channel, you know that for years we have made free content on the IELTS available to thousands of students here on YouTube, and now I want to go a step further to even make this kind of immigration content available so people know of the opportunities that are out there for them to move to other countries to enjoy a better life. So if you're not subscribed, please do. It's just a click on the button, but it helps us so much. Click the notification bell if you haven't done that as well, so you're notified of when we bring out the next video and you're never uninformed about what's happening. Thank you very much for watching this channel. We'll see you on the next video. Cheers.